Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie. What up, Q?
Hey, good evening.
You got something for the people today?
Yeah, I got a couple of things.
Well, you know, the Truth Master used to have his war hat on. I guess this is my war hat. Yeah, y'all like how I look, baby. Where you at? Don't you have something? Put your hood on for a moment. Let them see you.
Hold on, wait. Eh,
Look at that. That's Stitch, the troublemaker.
Yup, yup.
Okay, folks, we're gonna get started with our show and everything. And want to talk to election is coming up, so we got to talk about voting first. And so election is coming up, and with the election coming up Tuesday, of course, Saturday is the last day that you'll be able to vote absentee by 12 o'clock. And of course, Monday at 5 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, you mail is the final day for mail in. But Tuesday, but we got something really important that's going on the 6th of November, and
Mhm.
that's Wayman Newell and the other supervisors going to do the ribbon cutting. I guess that's the leaders of the city of Meridian going to be doing ribbon cutting for the new courthouse there in the old Village Fair Mall area. And of course, folks, they have a new sheriff department that's in that area also. Q, can you hear that? Don't you get started. That Two Bell fan there, y'all. Two Bell already talking. But Two Bell won't even give me a chance to get started good. He said, bro, what in the world you finna say? Well, I'm finna tell y'all, folks. Now, come Tuesday, I'll vote for Wayman Newell. The reason why you vote for Wayman Newell just have done so many things. And now, y'all got to let me tell my story. I hope you and Two Bell don't be interrupting me while I'm telling my stories. And basically, I'm finna tell y'all the gist of it. Now, one of the things that Wayman Newell, Two Best said, bro, don't say it. Don't you say nothing about that graveyard. Baby, I got to say something about the graveyard. The reason why I got to say something about the graveyard is because the graveyard is something that Wayman Newell took upon years ago. You know what, really? I used to kind of like castigate him behind that. I was actually thinking by this time it'll be blighted again. But he has made sure by keeping that largest historical black cemetery cleaned off, and we have some veterans in that cemetery, and I think they started up on the other end up where Grand Avenue started at the four-way stop sign at the top of the hill. That's probably 24th, I think 24th Street and 10th Avenue. They got a graveyard right down the corner, and I think they started. And I think Dwayne Davis may have been involved in that also. One of the things that Magnolia Ballpark. Now, when Randall Jennings was initially first in on that, but Wayman Newell, folks, now you understand that anytime a supervisor do anything inside of the city, you have to have what you call an interlocal agreement between the two governing authorities, which would be the Board of Supervisors and, of course, the City Council. And so they have to have that agreement before they do anything. But a lot of the things that Wayman Newell did, he took it out of discretionary funding, such as the scoreboard that was placed up there last year. And the reason why I'm talking about this because folks, now my family gonna vote for Wayman Newell. The ones that are in his district, they're going. Yours too. They're gonna vote for Wayman Newell. I know that Craig Houston and I know that Joe Norwood and Craig Houston and Dwayne Davis are kind of ganging up on Wayman Newell, saying that if he win, well, they've said the same thing over and over again, folks. But you all always have put the person in there that you thought would represent you the best, and you and I are in agreement that it's Wayman Newell. And yes, I have. Too bad I hear him in my ear saying you supported Craig Houston in the past. Yes, I did, and I did. But I think that Craig, while I can respect him as a person, he's very knowledgeable. He learns very fast, and I don't think unless it's Wayman Newell. That Craig Houston knows so much about so many different government policies, but Wayman Newell does too. And Wayman Newell has the job, and he's demonstrated. The 12 new bridges that he's put into his district and that he helped do in the county that just repave so many roads and then even put deflectors in there so that when you're traveling at night and you can't see the road on those dangerous roads and those curves, if you don't slow down, but with those deflectors that reflects the light back to the driver, Wayman Newell was instrumental in having those placed out in the county. And so, I want to make sure you folks come to the river cutting. And if you have any questions, Wayman Newell is always available. I mean, he's available for you to, and he's done so many things out in the county and so many things for the people. They cleaned the industrial park up out on 2059. Wayman New was instrumental in getting that done. And I hear Tuba say, but bro, that cost $4 million. Yes, Tuba it did, but they got that money back. So it didn't cost anything for that to be done. It just had to get started. Also, and that was $4 million that they spent, but was refunded. And I know y'all see my hat rocking. This is actually my son, Carter Hope. Man, what we gonna do with Carter?
I don't know. He's
Carter something else, ain't it?
yes.
He is. Well, he a handful, ain't it? Boy,
Yeah.
he likes to go hunt, fishing, and all that too. But I don't know where he got that from. But he sure ain't get it from me. Must have got it from not even my daddy, but from my mama daddy, because they love to do all that kind of stuff. Even my Uncle Judge and my late Uncle Judge, all them love to fish. Even my brother Kurt love to fish. Not me. See, I'm from the cost effective. It's not cost effective for me. So I'm definitely not gonna do that. And of course, Velma Young, money was taken. Joe Know would help with that too. But money was taken, the Velma Young, and then the fence was put up there to kind of like to protect the children in the neighborhood. And Wayman Newell was instrumental in that. See, now, folks, I'm telling you all these things because Wayman Newell ain't the one to go around and just pat himself on the back, but he's a pretty good person. And I hear too that talking, but bro, he's 80, ain't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. Yeah, and it doesn't matter because he's been there, he's seasoned, and he knows the job well. His mind is still fresh. When you talk to him, he still can talk to you. He's not doing what Joe doing, making a mistake. I never seen him fall down or stumble or anything like that, and neither have you. And so our vote go to Wayman Newell. So make sure y'all get out and vote for Wayman Newell. You got anything to say about that, Q?
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, like I was listening in, like, on all the, on all the things that he did. And I've actually, since the day I met him, I've been pretty impressed with Wayman Newell. He's so, like I said before, he's a people person, and he's always concerned about, what's going on in the community and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
and he's a man of his word. If he say
yeah,
he can do it or he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it.
right,
And if he can't do it, he'll tell you that he can't do it. And
right,
it ain't much that he can't do. He go out his way to do things in the county, make sure his constituents, his the people that put him in office, make sure they're okay. And
right.
so again, our vote goes out to Wayman Newell. Q, what
Mhm.
is that you want to talk about today?
Well, I wanted to, like, I just wanted to throw this out there, like, people in the black community, like, all around, like, they don't stand together at all, and it honestly starts with the black families. Like, it be your own family and friends that would rather see you fail than succeed. And for example, like, if you got a friend and, like, you want to do, I don't even know how to word it. You want to go to college, and you end up graduating from college, and you want them to be there. They say they're gonna come, but they don't come, and you find out they're not for you. So it's just like, watch who you call your friends, and watch your own family. That's all I gotta say. It's That's it. Like, it's just like, you can't call everybody your so called friend, because you barely got friends. And so honestly, all I say about that is, if you got a good one, keep them.
Yeah, and not only that, and what Q is saying is that your enemies don't know anything about you. It's your family and friends, and it's the
Right.
ones that hurt you the most. And I know that, and I can speak. This is for me speaking and talking about even if some of you podcast would know that a lot of the things that happen to you. Thanks, Q. See, that's why Q is the tech person. See, that's Dice Jr. right there. That's also Two Bell fan because she said, well, that ain't what you said. But anyway, I just want to say this is that one of the things that it's the Democratic Party that came after me. Fred Welch, the Democratic Party. I mean, James Moore is a black male Democrat. Wow, look at the problems Fred had. He had to fight something. I mean, with his life, with spending money that he don't have. His parents worried. His parents are at an advanced age, and they had to worry about their son. They wanted, and I'm so glad that his family could see that justice prevailed in the end, that justice prevailed, that they didn't have to watch their son go to jail for something they did not do, something another black man did to him, another black Democrat. I don't even understand why Kemper County keep re-electing this man. I think the election is coming up soon. I hope that, I don't know whether that he has a candidate. I don't think so. But I got to tell you this, folks, is that they are taking advantage of you. That the Democrats are taking advantage of you because you continue to follow lockstep in place and vote blindly for a person just because they are affiliated with the Democratic Party. At some point in time, you will have to stop doing that because we have done that for ever since the 1960s. We have done that. So decades and decades, we've been blindly voting Democrat to our peril, to our detriment. Look at the state of the black community. Look at the schools in the black community. Look at the black community itself. What black family is doing well in the black community? What black family is doing great in the black community? There's no way in this day and age that we should not be doing better than what we're doing when only a few of the hundreds of thousands of blacks that are living in each of these areas or each of these states or each of these and I gotta say states. If there's 3 million people in the state of Mississippi, then 1 million of those folks are black folks, and most of those people are voting Democrat. And Q, we gotta stop doing that. We gotta
Right.
stop. Look at us. Look at us.
Right.
Our children are not being educated. Our children are killing each other. And this
Right.
is it's not the white folks' fault. It's not Donald Trump's fault. It's not the Republican fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's
Right.
people like James Moore. It's people like Percy Bland. That nigga is running. Lord, too bad. So don't do that, bro. Okay, that Negro is planning on running for mayor of Meridian and Q. And you know, a lot of people seem to think that he's going to win because they're so dissatisfied at Jimmy Smith. I got to ask you out there, podcast land, what is it that Jimmy Smith has done that's detrimental to the black community? Come on, tell me now.
Well,
Wait.
in my opinion, Jimmy Smith ain't done nothing bad to the black community. People they just don't care about who in office. They rather have somebody that's doing bad in office and who's corrupt in office and have somebody that wants to do good for the city and the community. They
Yeah.
rather they rather because that's just how the black community is. They will help you do bad, but they will not help you do good.
Well, Jimmy Smith is proud now. He's a proud
Yeah,
black man.
that's
He's
what I'm
proud.
saying.
Oh, that he. The only two people I know can walk like that walk. That walk that Jimmy Smith has. That's I call that the Barack Obama special. But it ain't the Barack Obama special. That's how it is when a black man got that glide in his stride. When a
Right.
black man is confident. When a
And
black man is confident in his
right.
ability and what he's doing. Jimmy Smith has that, and that's maybe that pissed some folks off. Maybe they don't like
Yeah.
the fact that maybe he
Right.
come across as being too arrogant.
That's what I meant about they don't want a good black person in office. That's what I meant about, they don't want good in office. They rather have bad and corrupt in office just because. Like,
Well, I
I mean,
like
'cause-
Jimmy. I like it. I still view
yeah, that's
him
what
as,
I'm
as
saying. Like
like
Jimmy
being a
in
big
my
brother.
oh.
When he was mad at me, he let me know it. He let me know it. Hey, I can't do. Hey, Jimmy, ain't nothing. Much love and much respect.
Right.
Folks, I'm gonna be out there now. I know that. Let's just talk about the people that are potentially going to run for office before we get into other things. And Kieran, you can come in at any time you feel like you want to. Let's say that Percy Bland is going to run for office. Let's say that Jimmy Smith, we already know that he's running for re-election. So what it appears that Percy gonna go head to head with Jimmy Smith again. And a lot of you out there, if you're mad at Jimmy, tell me why you're mad at him. If you're angry at him, what is it to do? Do you realize under the Bland administration, police officers, they killed Gary Hardy, Davon Hardy, I think that's his name is. They killed him and covered it up and say he hung himself out there in that thing. They killed that man on North Hill Street. Now I know y'all heard me say this before, but it's true. But not only that, they cold-blooded killed Gary Barber. They shot and killed that man in the ditch over there off what's that 20 or 30th Avenue over there. They killed him. Percy Bland had more black men killed by police officers than any other It has never happened under the history of the city of Meridian. They'll go two breath talks and bruh say, hold up now. Have you went back? Yes, and that's my story. You better let me stick to it, two breath, and get out of my ear. My brother be watching me. But seriously though, more blacks was killed by police officers, white police officers. We ain't talking about black police officers killing a black man. Black police officer killing a black, and blacks helped covered up, but it was white officers that was killing black folks and beating them. And not only that, drugs coming off the interstate and going back into the black community. Wow, folks, y'all really want to go back to that shit? You don't hear that going on with Jimmy Smith. Go ahead, baby. What did you got to
And
say?
that's why I say, like, why would you want a person who has done all of that, or like, why would you want a person in office that has done all of that? You don't know what his plans is, for the next, you you get what I'm saying. You don't know what he's
Yeah.
trying to do in this next
He's
in the
trying to do it again. He's trying to
right,
do it again. He missed that money. He missed that
right.
power. He want to get in there, folks. And somebody told me this too, Kier. They said it doesn't matter who's in there. Those
Mhm,
same group of people, we're gonna call them the Rosicrucian, call them whatever you want to. Well,
mhm,
we can say like the Delaney's, the Bruce Martin, people
mhm.
like that will continue to run Meridian because of their money and their power. They'll continue to influence it no matter who the mayor is. But I don't think that Bruce Martin, Tom Delaney, would condone any mayor bringing drugs out the interstate and putting them
Right,
into the community. I don't think they would condone that. So that's a different thing. So I don't think, but Percy Bland did that.
right.
John Robert Smith didn't do that. Sherry Bear didn't do that. Jimmy Kemp didn't do that. Al Rosenblatt, I'm going back and on back.
Mhm,
But Jimmy Smith is not doing it. But Percy
right,
Bland did it, folks. Percy Bland. Y'all gonna let that Negro who's not from Meridian, didn't grow up in Meridian, wasn't raised there, didn't go to school there, anything like that, come into our city and continue to corrupt our citizens and kill young black men, because
right,
that's what he did. Young black men and middle-aged black men. He killed them. He did it because it was under his watch when it happened. It wasn't the police officer, the white police officer that did it. It was under his watch. It wasn't the white police officer or the black police officer that was selling drugs. It was Percy Bland that was doing that shit because it was under his watch. Now I don't know what y'all feeling or what y'all thinking or not, but if the nigga gone, let him stay gone. If
right.
you don't, if he run for office, let's really time fair that Negro and run his ass up out of town. You hear Too Bad talking to me, cute. Go ahead, man. I gotta
And
tell you
that
what
and
people say.
and that and that goes back to my question. Why would you want him in office again?
That's right. That's right. And you know what? I said we because that's my home. That's your home too. That's our
Right,
home. And yes, we done moved out and everything, but we still maintain our voting down there. And we eventually we're not gonna do that. We ain't planning on coming back. We got our property down there for sale. Once
right.
it's sale, that'll be good. And you'll know that because the sign will go down and you'll see people in there. But
Mhm.
it's up for sale, and I'm gonna sell it. And Q and I reduce the price of the property, and we'll continue to do that until it. So if we sell it for $1, that'll be good enough for us, Mama Bang.
Yep.
But we gonna get
But
more than $1, ain't we?
oh yeah, oh yeah. But in other, things, we're actually going to see Tony Rock tomorrow.
Sure
Okay.
is, and that's Chris Rock brother. That's
Mhm.
the if Will Smith would have slapped Tony Rock would have. Oh, they'll still be fighting. Now, I wouldn't have last out bad. Tony Rock would have dove off the stage out there.
Yep.
He slapped the right Rock brother, and I don't even understand that why no lawsuit unless it was something that was settled. In my opinion, you would never
Well,
know that.
I think it was a publicity stunt if you really look at it. Because now all of a sudden Jada Pinkett is in the news talking about her and Will Smith being separated for 7 years and this and that. And she's talking about the last time they were seen together was at the Oscars. But my thing is, okay, if y'all like, why would he do that and Chris Rock not actually do something about it? That's my thing. Like, I'm just trying to process that.
Yeah,
Like,
and you are right, and there's some validity in your statement what you just said, and it also could be that they settle without letting the public know because
right,
Will Smith is this so-called black leader, this icon, this person that everybody respect and want to be like, so they wouldn't want to do anything to continue to impugn his character because
mm,
of, and so I say to Chris Rock, it's possible that Chris Rock was paid a great
right.
deal of money. in my opinion.
Yeah, they and then like they
To
also
not sue, to not do anything.
yeah
Because if they had paid me a great deal of money, I would not have sued them either. And so
yeah
I got to fight for my money. So I always like that too, but I got to fight for all I get.
and
And good
then
evening, bro Fred. And bro Fred is watching Q. Tell him good evening, Q.
hey Fred.
Yeah.
But next Friday, which is the 11th, we're going to see DL Hewley. So
Yeah, and I know everybody know DL Hewlett. And
yeah.
so it's just kind of like things that we're doing, kind of like to
Oh, then we go to the Magic City Classic. What was it last?
oh yeah, it was this past weekend. We went
Yeah.
to the Magic City Classic, and we watch. And of course, we're definitely Bulldog fans. Yes, I'm a
Yep.
Bulldog fan because
A&M.
that's my alma mater, Mississippi State. But Alabama A&M is also Bulldogs, and
Mm-hmm.
their mascot is the Bulldog, and also the colors are the same. And so my
Mm-hmm.
daughter's going to A&M. And so we actually went there, and I went there with my daughter Jade, and we actually had a great time until it just got to be heart wrenching too. But I just couldn't stand to watch it anymore, so we left. When the guy
So,
jumped up, I thought he had
yeah.
springs on his feet.
He intercepted the ball, and when he intercepted it, he literally took off running to ASU side, which it was the ASU player. He took off to his side, and he was running around the whole stadium. That's when I was ready to go. I said, let's go. I
I
said,
thought I thought A&M was walking. This guy was so fast. I mean, they're actually Alabama has a superior team. They're faster.
hmm
The kicker, a white guy, was gonna kick the ball. I just knew he was gonna be the next Tom Dempsey. It was just really at the 40-yard line,
hmm
and he actually. Man, when he kicked, man, I think the dude had springs on his foot. He blocked it and they got the ball and ran it up back the other way and touchdown.
yeah,
And while it was time to go then, after the guy
yeah,
intercepted and ran around, I didn't see and Q watched him run around the field. I
yeah.
got
I seen him
well, you
run around.
tell them how far we was. If you
We
count,
were almost in the sky,
it's
basically.
almost top. I mean, at two belt. I'm talking about like so, man. Two
hmm
belt. We way up here. I'm going down the way it was, and so we supposed to be in here, but we way up here. And when we
hmm
leave, my daughter boyfriend Dylan, took out running two belt.
We was
Uh,
hopscotching.
Jada, I thought they were house girl. Jada did the same thing behind him. Q do the same thing behind, and here I am, 70 years old, doing the same thing. Boy, somebody came out in front of me too, but I was so glad I stopped. I said, cause if I'd have slipped, it'd have been like a bowling ball going down there. But I'll tell you, all these young folk, man, I'm telling you, well, it's the first time I say that it's amazing how they ran down this thing. It was literally it's got to have been not a 45, more like probably about a 70-degree angle in my opinion, and that's pretty steep. And then we was way up there.
But
Had
the
either
battle,
one of them stumble, they don't even think. Young people don't think. First thing went through my mind, hey, if I jump up and my knee give out, it's over with because I'm a roll line there. But either way, I walked down. I think I went from like, when we played hopscotch when we was little two bell. I think I went about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I stopped. I went
the
all the way
the
back.
only the good thing about the battle of the bands was good.
Yeah, it was.
A and M won that. They may not have won the football game, but they won the battle of the bands.
Yeah. They did one that they have a superior band
hmm
and a superior show, but the team actually Alabama has a superior team, and it's nothing gonna change. Alabama A&M has a white coach, two belts, so you keep bringing color into it. My friend over there in South in another part of the country saying there you go with that black and white stuff and everything, but it is a difference in that because one of the thing I when my sons went to Tuscaloosa County School, they had the Chromebooks, but they were not able to bring it home. But they got a superior education, and so when they transferred to Birmingham school system, they have the Chromebooks also, or either have something similar to that. And they were not able to bring it home. And my sons went there for 3 weeks, and neither of them got one because they didn't give them. They didn't let the children take it home because the parents hacked into them, used them for itself, wouldn't bring them back, pawned them or whatever. And so then now they're at the Oak Grove school system. This is Jefferson County. That's Oak Grove Middle School and Oak Grove High School. They're in that school system, and they're able to bring their Chromebooks home. And of course, they're getting a superior education, which brings me back to the two-tier system in America. And
Mm-hmm.
I come to realize, podcast land, is that not only do we have a two-tier system in America, even in that tier, they have different stratas, meaning like a strata is a layer. So even like among the black colleges and schools, you have what you call the elite colleges or the best schools. Then you have mediocre, and then you have the poor performing school. So even a school, let's say a poor performing school would bring out an A student, a student that would graduate, and still couldn't make a good score on the ACT. You had a deviation of the norm, but what I'm talking about is the norm. So you have a school, let's say on this one tier that we talking about, the black schools, the black colleges and universities. We're talking about them, such as Alabama A&M and Harvard. Not Harvard is on the other side, Howard University. My daughter actually graduated from um, I hate to say this, Q, but she graduated from Tuscaloosa County School, very good, and she graduated with honors. And too bad when she was going to school there, she so smart and everything. She took some college courses while she was in the 12th grade, and she got a full scholarship, and that made me proud, and it makes family proud, made a mom proud, made everybody associated with her, knowing her proud, because she's getting a $20,000 a year full scholarship that's paying her books and tuition. And UAB gave her a scholarship also. It was, I forgot the name of it, but she got one there. But it didn't put out as much money as the one at A&M. And say that's again like with COVID, they use money. And so my daughter, me, we spending time together this weekend. Naturally, concerned parent asked about education, and so I asked her. She said, "The dad, that I'm learning things that I already know." And that's what's bad. And so again, she's saying the same things that Coda and Carter said, that they are way behind us. We
Mm-hmm.
already know what they're teaching us. So I said this to say this: while she'll end up getting a degree at Alabama A&M University, it's not a good thing. It's to her detriment. Even though she's getting paid, I strongly suggest, and I'll suggest this to my daughter, it's time for her to come home. It's time for her to go to a school like UAB, because she's planning on being a doctor, and she's planning on going to UAB medical school. And then they have a test that you have to take prior to getting accepted into medical school. And the score on that test, going to somewhere like A&M, unless she study and take advanced calculus, the trigonometry, geometries, and all this, and analogies and things like that. You have to know that they use on all those tests in order to keep us out of it. And that's true, Q. What good does it have to do if you've already demonstrated that you are disciplined enough to graduate from college, that you can pass subjects by studying, and then in there, why would you have to have an exit exam, such as Meridian High School or any school to have exit exam? Meridian, the state of Mississippi, have an exit exam that you have to pass before you can leave, but they didn't have that in Alabama. They done away with that almost a decade ago, and I think that's a good thing. But if you've done that, and then if you can't pass that exit exam, they won't let you out the back door in Mississippi. If you don't pass the entrance exam for such as the LSAT or any other entrance exam they used in order to get you in, say, pharmaceutical school, or to get you in medical school or nursing school, I don't think they have an entrance exam. But all those high paying jobs, they do. But
Any
it doesn't make any sense. The only thing is to use is to keep us out of it, because we're getting an inferior education at our black colleges and universities, even though they graduate you with the ribbon and you joining the different fraternities, the sororities, the Greeks. And so you're getting connections, but you're getting the wrong connection. Black folks don't own shit. They don't own anything. They ain't the manager of nothing. Manager of what? Walmart? What? Manager of what? What you about to say something, Q? Go ahead.
I was about to say you can anybody can actually get into nursing school because you turn around, you literally like everywhere you turn there's a black person. Oh, I want to be a nurse. Oh, I am a nurse. Like, damn, how many nurses we need? But
Yeah,
I was going to say, what I was going to say is the poorer the community, the poorer the education is. That's what I was going to say.
yeah.
It's all based on basically, it's like you said, it's based on the color. I mean,
Yeah. They have a system, they put a system in place to ensure that they stay in power, and that it make it difficult for us. And when one of us happens to pass those tests, and usually the only way we can pass those tests is we go to their schools, and the folks any IQ test or any test based on you being admitted into a college is culturally biased. It's biased and it's based on white middle class culture and white middle class education. And so naturally, that in itself is an unfair tool to use to determine who's getting into a program or not. And so Shelby County versus what's his name? He was the attorney general under Holder. Yeah. Eric
Yeah.
Holder. Shelby County versus Holder did away with all those programs where they set aside programs. They would allow you to come into those programs. They had to have a certain amount of blacks in those programs. And so Shelby County, what I talked to you about my son, is the reason why my son, why all of us are being affected by Shelby County versus Holder. And it's something that I don't expect for, I don't like the special deference, but sometimes it's needed. When I look at things, it's needed because our schools are not educating our children at the same level or at the same amount of intensity that white schools are doing for their children. I know my white friend don't want to hear this, but it's true. It's true. I mean, I'm seeing this. And so now I'm perplexed now, Q, because I want my daughter to leave Alabama and A&M. I don't care anything about the money. I want her to get a superior education, not an inferior education. I want her to be a doctor. I want her to go ahead on, like we got they keep sending us to these programs that doesn't pay a lot of money, and the way things are high, folks, you go to Walmart now, orange juice, I used to love to grab a gallon of orange juice. It didn't cost but $3.98. That same gallon of orange juice now costs $7.98. That's more than 100. That's like 100 and about 102% increase, and I mean 110% increase, and that's bad. That's really bad. And the reason why it's bad, folks, is because wages has not kept up with with the cost of living, and that's what causes inflation. Inflation has increased since COVID. They gave you all that money. Everybody happy about COVID, getting those stimulus checks. Those stimulus checks went away, and so it created a downturn in the economy. And so jobs are being created. It's not the jobs are being created. Those are not living jobs. Those are not jobs that you can enjoy life and liberty with. Those are not jobs that you can pay your bills. You still got to get food stamps. You still got to have help with your rent and things like that. So it's sad. It's just really, really, really sad that these things are occurring. And so we got to do something about that. And folks, I can tell you that one of the things that Wayman Newell and I talk about, and since I'm talking about us, I said, why didn't you guys build a juvenile center on one end of that courthouse or have a juvenile center out there? He said it's the ACLU. That's the American Civil Liberties Union. He said the ACLU think that juveniles should not be locked up. And so one of the things that he said with that is that why build a facilities that the ACLU going to immediately come in and file a lawsuit against you, and you end up having to shut it down, and all that money be wasted. So that was very sound reasoning. It's something that I wasn't aware of. And so while I kind of like understand that point, but I've seen some juveniles that need to be locked up. In my case, most juveniles should not be locked up, but should be turned over to the parents. But when that child is incorrigible, when that child is doing things like killing other people, that's in a case I think that juveniles should be like, how they have minimum security prisons at Maxwell Air Force Base in Montgomery. It's more like a living room. It's like a home or something like that. I think they should have something like that where they have at home, they're able to go to school and things like that, but not anywhere where they're in bars or they place with hardened criminals or anything like that. But something like, say, a residential treatment facilities where, and so I can kind of see the point with the American Civil Liberties Union. I still think that we should bring our children home. Our children need to come home no matter what color they are. They need to come home. Whatever is going on, wherever you got them locked up there, let's lock them up down there. Again, I'm going to keep on talking about the $2 million that Dwayne Davis talked about building a sidewalk. If you can waste $2 million on putting a sidewalk, they ain't needed a sidewalk there. And Dwayne Davis live out there in the area that he's talking about enriching and putting the sidewalk. He live in front of Norwood Country Club. So that is on 10th Avenue and North Hill Street. It's probably around about 49th Street or 48th Street or 40th Street or something like that. But he's talking about going all the way from Northfield Street to 33rd, so that would include where he lived. And so again, if you can spend $2 million for that, and again, you would have to have an interlocal agreement when you're talking about supervisors, and the city has nothing to do with the county, and the county has nothing to do with the city when it comes to doing things inside of the city and inside of the county. And the juvenile center is the county, but again, you would need an interlocal agreement to for all for the two entities to work together, and I think that should be done. I think when it comes to our children, that we need to do all we do. When they're talking about doing something, now you see all of them now going to be asking you to vote, but when none of them vote for you, Dwayne Davis, Ramonda Walker, and Tybell Lindsay could have by themselves put forth a motion to what I asked them to do, but they said they couldn't do it because they didn't want to go up on your bill. But they going up on your bill for everything else, for everybody else, but you won't benefit from it. But either way, I don't think your bill would have went up because it's only $2,500. Now we talking about $2,500 or $1,800 or $1,300, but that's okay. I got it up for sale. And I'm gonna leave to each his own. I'm gonna lead the roosters to the roosters. I'm gonna lead the city Meridian to Meridian. I got it up for sale, so I'll let y'all fight about that. And one of the things that I want to talk about also is I wanted to talk about. Did y'all know that Israel is an occupying state as opposed to now you know they had an agreement when they came out. Israel became a state in May the 11th. I went and Googled it. May the 11th, 1948, and was accepted into the United Nations a little more than a year later on May the 14th, 1949. Now, folks, I gotta ask you people now, why the special deference for Israel? How's that Israel? Now, y'all was all now, my friend, I'm talking about, y'all talking about what Russia doing to the Ukrainians. I don't hear you saying shit about what the Israelis is doing to the Gazans. And that's atrocious, folks. So they 1,500 Israelis have been killed, but over 9,000 Palestinians have been killed, and hundreds of thousands have been injured. That's a heavy use of force, and going in there destroying what they're trying to tell you with their lying media again that they're terrorists. They're people. They're in a state. And folks, you look at it, you can see where the top of that broke off from Africa and everything. All that was Africa in the first place. And so if you go back and look at it, these are Jews most of the Jews in Israel are from Russia. So there you go, white friend, and all you other folks out there that's loving Israel so damn much because you think you're talking about the Israeli people that's in the Bible. You think the white man didn't know what he was doing when he named that Israel and named it Jerusalem? In order to substantiate the Bible, folks, come on now, wake up and smell the coffee. Now, history don't lie. That's his story. It ain't our story. It don't lie. Cross-reference and go and check the shit. You loving their Jesus. You loving their God. What about loving yourself? What about loving your own God? What about loving your own religion, having your own? Oh, it's gone. It's lost. You ain't going to find it. You don't know where it is. It's sad that an occupying state does not have a right to use deadly force. They can't. They does not have a right to self-defense. You understand that occupying state does not have a right to self-defense. Everything they're doing is illegal. I mean, look at the hypocrisy among the Western nations. That's the United States, that's France, that's England, Belgium. All of them is in there sending weapons to Ukrainians to fight Russia. The Russia has been very careful not to kill people like they're doing in Israel. Look how these people just don't give a damn. They don't even care. Look at what they're doing to people that are not soldiers. It's illegal as hell. It's a violation of international law and the Geneva Convention. But look at Biden, ain't saying nothing about that. There's no way I could vote for Biden. Hell, no way. No way. I'm not voting for Biden. Slow Joe. Dice had it right. Not voting for Biden. Not vote for any Democrats either. I'm just not going to. I'm going to vote in Meridian. I'm going to be down there helping getting out to vote. And I'm going to vote. I'm going to make sure that I'm gonna make sure that I vote. I'm gonna make sure that candidates vote. And I'm gonna make sure I take people out and get the vote out because, and I'm gonna just tell you, people, y'all can vote like you want to, but damn it, I ain't voting for no Democrat. I'm not at all. I don't see one Democrat that I'm gonna vote for. I don't see one. Well, y'all see how this had. Q, what it is that you got? You got to have something to say. Oh,
Yeah,
young man, my son.
I
Boy,
got a
Carter
big
need to come in
smile.
and see how his dad and wearing his cowboy hat. This is my son Carter hat. Well, I'm gonna show y'all the gun. I just love it because I can kick it to the side like John Wayne wore his. Now that too bad. I said, bro. Now you know Fred Williamson wore his hat like that, and Fred Williamson was a black man. Why you talking about that white cowboy? Because I love me some John Wayne. Go. I just tell
Look,
you.
I got I got a big smile on my face because like I was on a Reaching Out with Eddie page and I saw that Shelby is graduating November the 11th.
Oh, from the police officer.
Yeah, she's graduated. Her graduation is November the 11th at Brandon City Hall, and I just want to tell her congratulations.
Yeah, and I want to say the same thing to her. That's my late brother Wayne daughter, Shelby. And I'm really proud of her. And folks, a lot of you out there think you know me, but you don't. You think you know my family, you don't. But we are some, that we are some. It hadn't been many people in the whole family that's gotten in trouble because there's a lot of us. I'm gonna tell you that now. It's a lot of us, and most of us have done very well. And but that's besides the point. But good. Q, I want you to read our comments. But who in the hell is Ray? I already know that's a Rhea. A Rhea, you so extra. If you ain't got a new name just about every time you come, what does Monet mean? Ray Monet.
Monet,
Uh,
Monet, that's
yeah,
Monet.
yeah, that's Monet, but that's just definitely not her name. I already let me say it. But I ain't no telling what she said. But anyway, I want to talk about some more things. Then you want to tell us an update on Nipsey Hustle?
Oh, all I wanted to say is they finally came to an agreement to give 50% his assets to his kids. Now, Nipsey Hussle is I think he was one of the not like in ever, but he was one of the first rappers to like get killed like during like the 20th like 2000. I think it was early like 2020 or something like that, but they were fighting over his assets. His brother was trying to be over it and saying he don't have a lot and stuff like that. And now being in 2023, they have finally come to the decision to give his kids 50% of his assets, which
Each
is
one of
right.
them, each of
Yeah,
them, 50. So
yeah,
they got 100% of that asset. Each one of them got 50. He had two children,
right. No, he
right?
had more than two children. He got
Okay.
three. I think he got three, or maybe two, maybe.
Yeah, I just when I seen that little thing, maybe right too, but I saw where they
Yeah,
got 50% each.
yeah.
So
They each got 50.
obviously a third one maybe not his, but either way, we either way it's
Oh
50.
wait, yeah. You right,
Yeah,
cause she
yeah,
had the baby with Lil Wayne, but yeah.
yeah.
So
Folks, I
yeah,
gotta
so
talk about bail bond again. Is that I'm getting ready. I'm coming kind of like to a close. I want to talk about Israel again. Folks, what they're doing is atrocious and it's not right. It's just not right. If you can find that what they're doing is right, then you got to look at your moral calendar again. And perhaps maybe deep down inside, if you white and you find what they're doing is right, then perhaps then you really are prejudiced. Maybe really are. Don't look at people of color or people that have some kind of color in them as being human or being real. And if you're black and look at it as being right, then you find I think that you're confused that this Israel that's over there doing all that is God. And that they're not God and they're not representing God. What they're doing is devilish and evil, and it should be some accountability. And they getting ready to dump Ukraine now and go over there and put money that we don't have. Right now, we're over $33 trillion in debt. Folks, I'm talking about this is money that we owe other people, and probably before the next year it might be $50 trillion. How do you keep spending money that you keep printing that you don't have marked in the future? How is it that everybody's so upset? Why are you white folks so damn upset about the Palestinians attacking Israel? Okay, they attack, but for them to go in there and destroy the country, what if Russia did that in the Ukraine or Russia did that in America? You wouldn't be so self-righteous then. It's easy to talk when you're the hunter and you got the gun, but it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And folks, it's just what they're doing. Idi Amin said, and a lot of you Google who he is. He said that the only thing Hitler did or was wrong about it. Somebody sent this to me today, and I laughed about it. I thought it was comical, and it just was indicative of how he was. He said the only thing Hitler did wrong with the Jews, he didn't kill all of them. If you look at the kind of problems that they have in the world today that are initiated by the Jews, then maybe he have a valid point. But I gotta say this: I'm not on the side of killing anybody because of their position or their point of view. But I am on the side of the law. I think that the law should hold the Israelis accountable just as well as if Russia's doing so. America use these treaties and things like that. They sign them and they break them and they come out of them. They use that not as a way of controlling the firearms that goes into the world. They use it as a way of controlling how many weapons you get. When I say you, I'm not talking about you out there in podcast land. I'm talking about how many weapons the Russians get, how many weapons do North Korea get, how many weapons do China get. They use treaties and things like that as a way of controlling behavior to bamboozle while they're steady doing what they're accusing everybody else of doing. Yes, again, I'm glad to be an American. I'm glad where I am, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with what they're doing. It's kind of like when a family member is doing something bad. Now, I got to talk about my niece a little bit. My niece is still in jail. Again, my condolences to the Mitchell family. She's still in jail. My niece bond was reduced to $100,000, but she didn't get out because she had another charge, and that's something that's being worked with. I'm not going to go in details about that, but that's something that's being dealt with at this particular time in the state of Mississippi, as in most states, especially the southern states. If you out on a bond on a charge and you pick up another charge, or if you have a charge and you pick up a new charge, then you're no longer eligible for bond. Now, but her bond was reduced to $100,000 contingent upon her this other charge going away, and I'm sure that it will be given away. Again, folks, I gotta say that is still a high bond, and the reason why it's a high bond, it's the reason why it's a high bond. The purpose of bail bond, and I got this here from the Constitution itself too, but so no, you didn't, bro. Well, I'm gonna say I did, so leave me alone too. But the purpose of a bail bond is to ensure that a person charged attends all court appearances and follow all conditions set by the court. That's the purpose of a bond. Bond is not used as a form of punishment, such as have Judge Dustin Markham is doing. He just cannot do that. Setting a high bond, when the first thing he said once he was appointed was that he gonna set $1 million bonds for people that commit murder. Well, at least even if you're not the brightest or the sharpest knife in the bunch or the brightest star in the sky, Dustin, you should be able to see that that's a fail. Your position is failed because murder has not decreased. Under you, it has increased. Now, Too Bad talking to me here again. Again, Too Bad I reiterate, this is black on black crime. This is not white police officers killing black folks, and that has not happened under Dustin Markham. Now, I know some of you out there, somebody did get killed by a black. I think it was a black person that did kill a black person. I don't know all the facts of that, but there were about 15 on the got killed on the person Brandon. So y'all need to let that Negro come back. Yeah, Too Bad, that's my number. I know this is an exaggeration, but that's my number. Bro said it wasn't 15 people killed in that whole year or that whole while he was a mayor. Yes, it was Too Bad, not all on black though. But anyway, folks, I kind of like but again, the Eighth Amendment to the Constitution, and this is from the Eighth Amendment, it prohibits the government from imposing excessive bond or excessive bail on an individual. That's the Eighth Amendment. What Dustin does every time he do that, he violates the Eighth Amendment to the Constitution. See, folks, that's what I say about this. Is how is that when people get in these positions of power and authority that they supposed to be the ones that they supposed to be the one to be the gatekeepers of the law, but they do more breaking of the law than anybody. Now I got to talk about Fred just a little bit. Fred got getting his record expunged and all that. Folks, you imagine he had to go through that. It's sad that he had to go through that because of Sheriff Moore. Sheriff Moore was a culprit. I know because I've been with Fred every step of the way. I know everything Sheriff Moore did. When Fred filed a subpoena for to get he filed a subpoena to get he subpoenaed the camera from the Kemper County Courthouse. He subpoenaed the people that installed that camera, that keep that camera, to for the footage of the day that Gerald Mumford claimed that Fred was there signing the document. Sheriff Moore came in, folks, and took all of it down and ordered these people to come up there and install a new system. And Sheriff Moore got it. See now, how is it that he's able to do that? See what kind of nigga he is. I know he ain't gonna like me saying this shit, but Sheriff Moore ain't gonna never let you get your hooks in me. You can believe that. And one thing I gotta say this is that Cass again did the right thing. She dropped those charges, her and the judge signed them and everything. Of course, by it had some little things in there that just kind of cost from everything. But Cassie did the right thing again. I hope Cassie continue to do the right thing with the citizens of a lot of their county, Kemper County and Clark County. And I don't think Wayne County is a part of it, but it might be. But it's Clark, Kemper, and Lauderdale, if I ain't mistaken. Those three counties is what she's over. And I hope she continue to do that kind of thing. But I want to spend this last little hour here. If y'all got some comments or things that y'all want us to say or talk about, make sure you do that. But I want to talk, make sure you get out to vote and make sure you vote a straight non-democratic ticket. Terry Rogers, I know if you're watching this, but man, it is what it is now. If Terry Rogers was running for anything, he would be the one person I would vote for. And I gotta say this about Ted Reynolds. Ted Reynolds is a strong black man, and he's chairman of the Democratic Party in Lauderdale County. But Ted, y'all don't free that money up when your candidates run for office. You ain't gave Lolo no money. I know you got some money. You should raise money, sell catfish, sell some. You should give us some money. Now, I think that if Lolo was to become Justice Court judge, now she's the only Democrat that I said y'all vote for. So I got to take this back. Y'all got to vote for Lolo for judge. It's time for Andre. Some of you might like Andre, but it's time for Andre to go. You got to vote for Lolo. That's Loretta Bennett, who's running for Justice Court Judge District 2. You got to vote for her. I had to rewind the tape to the beginning. Oh, y'all vote for Lolo for the Democratic ticket, and naturally I'm supporting Wayne Manure, so vote for Wayne Manure. Now, Joe Norwood is doing a good job. I don't think he have any opposition. Rod Hickman doesn't have any. Neither does Chuck Chuck Young. He doesn't have any either. But so again, these are people. I would vote for Rod Hickman. I would. I would vote for Rod, and I would vote for Chuck. I would. And those are the two Democrats I would vote for. And the third one I vote for would be with Lolo. And other than that, I got to tell y'all now, I don't know about the highway commission. I might vote for him. Everything else for me is a state Republican ticket. I'm just telling y'all, you ain't got to like. You see, I got my cowboy hat on. So y'all hear me, don't you? You heard me? Yeah, I know I don't talk like that for real. But I wanted to talk about just a little bit something I wanted to touch upon. I'm looking at my notes. I'm finna bring Q in and let her perhaps talk to you guys for a minute. Talk to him for a minute, Q.
Um. Okay. Anyway, Araya brought up the fact that how young people from the ages 10 through 16 are smoking. Well, it starts at home. I mean, there's nothing that anybody in the public community can do about that. It starts at home. It's just like it starts with the parents. If the parents let them do anything at home, then I mean there's really nothing that we can say or do about that. I mean, you can't control what another person does because, like I said, it starts at home. If they see the parents smoking and the parents don't say anything about them smoking, then the parents just don't give a fuck. I'm just laying it out there like that. They don't give a fuck, and they don't care about that child's future, and that child don't care about their own future. So I mean, you can't. There's nothing that the public. We can't just say, "Oh, stop smoking," because we know they ain't gonna stop smoking.
Yeah, it's one of the things that my son said they were doing. So it seemed to be a trend in the black community that our children are picking up these habits. They trying to be grown in the wrong way, picking up habits such as using drugs at a very, very early age. And they're using drugs by the time they're in middle school. They're already vaping and smoking weed and doing all these other things. And while I'm definitely pro-choice, I'm pro-choice, but I think that children should be children. I think grown people should be grown people. And I don't think nobody should be. I don't smoke, and that's one of the things that, well, I don't mind saying it. My health I've been maintaining my health, and And that's one of the reasons why is that because I'm conscious of what I do, how I eat, and make sure I remain viable. I gotta say this about Morgan Freeman. You know, we watched him in a movie that he just made, and for that man to be 86 years old, to get around like he is, and have a mind fresh. I mean, he's not moving, shuffling. Now, my aunt is 10 years older than him, and she's slowing down, but she's still moving, get around good. And so I just got to say that I hope that I'm one of those individuals that can maintain my virility, my vitality until I stop. And I ain't gonna stop till I drop. I
That's
don't
right.
know. So okay. What Ray Monet talking
You
about? Ray
said
Monet.
they're influenced and think that's cool to flex guns, weeds, having rolled up butts. It's very uncomfortable to see someone your age gap doing all that, and that's just embarrassing for the parent. You're right, but I mean, look at the music y'all listen to. Look at what y'all watch on TikTok and stuff like that. It's
Mm.
just a simple fact that I mean, like you said, you can't control nobody. You can't control nobody from the outside. You're not their parent or none of that. Like it's
So
just
our young peoples are kind of like doing what the older, even the teenagers are doing the same thing. They're
yeah,
doing what they see
exactly. That's
and
what I
replicating
mean.
the same behavior they did. And so, in other words, our young folks don't have anybody at home steering them in the right direction. I still think while parenting, I think parenting is very, very important, but also school is very important. It's just like the school system for us and in our black community seem to be designed to keep our children doing exactly what Araya is talking about and doing and even when a child does well and come out of that school, they find themselves not graduating from college because they're not prepared academically to compete in a academic world. And so
Right.
I just was talking about the two-tier system in America. It's not just that; it's also the stand your ground law. Also, you know, one of the things that happened when I was at the police station the other day is that the young lady was there trying to get her gun back, and Detective May wouldn't give it back to her, and so she couldn't see the. I said she can't see the chief, and I got involved, and he explained. He left. The emphasis was is that the gun was being used to investigate a murder. Now, the person that owned the gun said that the gun was not used. She knew for a fact that it wasn't. But if the city Meridian has the gun, and said that it was used in a murder, then they can't release any weapon or any evidence until the trial, until everything's over. But too bad, I gotta say this, and I gotta say this to you, Q, is that they ain't gonna give that gun back anyway. They seem
Mm-mm.
to be hustling the black community. Anytime they take a gun from a black person, that gun never goes back. I don't know if them taking it from white people. I ain't seen no white folks down there asking for their gun back, but they're always taking gun from a black person. And one of the things that they're bad about doing, and the law does not support them doing that, is that they want you to go and get a receipt saying that you bought the gun. No, 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 Meridian Police Department officer, that's a damn lie. If the gun is not stolen, you don't have a right to retrieve it. Anybody got to show you a receipt where they bought or purchased a gun at? You just full of shit. You keeping that gun, and y'all need to stop doing that shit, Meridian Police Department. You guys are keeping people weapons, but you're not taking weapons from white folks. You taking weapons from black people who have a right to those guns, and you don't have a right to keep their guns. Even in the case of my son, his gun was taken from the shop, and of course, I have a lawsuit against them now. But the fact that they were told by a superior to return the gun, even after they still would not return that weapon. And so, if you guys, y'all need to pay the Meridian police officers more money so that they don't have to steal guns from the citizens of the city of Meridian and not violate black people rights. Here you again. You want us to vote for black Democrats. You want us to vote for black people. You want us to be supportive of black people. But it's black people that's doing shit to other black people all the time. You go into the Meridian courtroom, it's almost as if you're in a movie from the 1950s or 1960s where everybody in there is doing the administering justice is white, and you got one token Negro, Dustin Markham, that's sitting in there, and everybody else is in there white. And Pat Jordan, who was a public offender, fell dead. Boo hoo hoo, boo hoo hoo, boo hoo hoo. And then it's another one, Karonsky, whatever his name, fell dead. Well, he almost died. Well, he would have died had not been a nurse that was in the little small courtroom with a little small group of people So he's in Jackson still. They had to fly him from Kemper County to Jackson because he flatlined there. Boo hoo hoo, boo hoo, boo hoo hoo. I'm trying to, but I'm trying real hard, but it just won't come out. And I'm trying so hard to shed a tear. But anyway, folks, I want to thank y'all for listening. Anything else we need to read about?
Um, the no.
Okay, anything else we need to? I think we had a pretty good show, folks. I got my war hat on. I'll put your
Let me put
I
my
know
Stitch
stitch
on,
on.
cause Stitch is
Well, I
my
look like Clint Eastwood too, Bill.
sure do, cuz.
I'm finna get out. Y'all have a good evening.